Welcome back to the lesson. Have you ever noticed how TikTok keeps showing videos as long as you're scrolling? Or how when you use a banking app and it keeps asking for your PIN until you get it right? Well, these apps all rely on loops, specifically while loops. And today we're going to be talking about while loops. What are while loops? Well, a while loop in Python checks a condition before every iteration. So if the condition is true, the loop runs. The moment the condition becomes false, the loop stops. So let me just show you some of the syntax. All right, here's a little multi-level comment. And so we can see that we have this while keyword. And this while keyword is what starts the loop. And then the condition is checked before each iteration. And if the condition is true, the block of code runs. Once the condition becomes false, the loop stops and the program moves on. So now let's see a while loop in action. So I'm going to give you an example of counting with the while loop. Now I'm going to paste the code because my typing is horrible and I want to save you from all of that. All right, so go ahead and pause the video if you want to copy down this code. All right, so let's talk about what is happening in this code. So we start by assigning 1 to count. And while this count is less than or equal 5, so this condition is checked, since 1 is actually less than 5, it's true. So then the loop runs. Inside the loop, we're going to get counting, and this is going to print counting and then whatever that counting value is. So we haven't discussed what this syntax is, and this is called a plus equal operator. And the plus equals operator, it's a shorthand way to add value to an existing variable and assign the new value back to the same variable. So the value of count is going to increase by 1, and that new value is going to be assigned to the count variable. So let's go back to what's happening inside of this code block. So as I said, we're going to print this statement, and then we're going to have this count, which is going to increase by 1. This loop is going to keep repeating this process until the count reaches 6. Once the count reaches 6, this condition, count less than or equal 5, is going to be false. So then the loop stops. And so then the program is going to move to the next statement outside of the loop. And loop is finished, program is continue. So let me go ahead and run this so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. Control R, run the program, and let's check this out. So here's our print statement, and we can see that we have counting 1, counting 2, counting 3, counting 4, counting 5. So it looped, counting all the way up to 5, and then once it got to count 6, it broke out of the loop because the condition was false, and it printed loop is finished. Program continues. All right, so let's talk about this count variable. Why do we need it? Well, we need a way to stop the loop, or it would run forever. So in this case, we're using count as a control variable to keep track of how many times the loop has run. So the loop will continue running, as we said earlier, as long as count is less than or equal to 5. And each time the loop runs, we increase this count by 1. And so that will eventually make this condition false, stopping the loop. Without this count incrementing, we would always stay at 1 and the loop would never end. So not all loops rely on a counter, but they do need some type of stopping condition. And it can be anything. It could be a user input, a system update, or a real-time event. So let me show you an example of where the loop doesn't end. Okay, so let me go ahead and just name this while loop example. I'm going to comment this out and I'm going to print it again. Let's just get rid of this line. I'm going to get rid of this line and I'm going to put this will run forever. All right, so let's see what happens when we run this loop. There's no count in here. There's nothing stopping this loop right now. And you see the terminal? It's literally gonna run forever. Okay, so this is called an infinite loop. And so what's going on here is that this condition, count less than or equal to 5, it's always going to evaluate to true. This count is never updated, so it stays at 1 all the way through, and so this loop just keeps running forever, printing the same message. And this is called an infinite loop, and it can cause the program to freeze because Python never reaches the next step. So to fix this, first of all, let's just stop this. All right. It's yelling. Okay, we interrupted the system. That's basically what it's saying because we press this stop. So all we have to do to fix this is make sure that we do count plus equals 1. Okay, I'm going to run it again. And so we should have now it stops written 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now that we understand how while loops work and how to avoid infinite loops, let's look at how we can use them to build real applications. Okay, guys, so let's do an example where our example is we're handling login attempts in a banking app. So I'm going to go ahead and write that. Banking app login attempts. Imagine we're building a banking app where a user gets 3 attempts to enter their PIN before being locked out. So I'm going to show you a quick way how this could be implemented. All right, I just pasted a lot of code here. Let me make this a little bit smaller so we could see everything. So here's what's happening in this code. We are assigning a correct PIN, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we have a couple of variables. We have attempts equals 0 and max attempts equals 3. This program is going to ask the user for the PIN. And then the while loop keeps running as long as the user enters the wrong PIN and they haven't used up all of their attempts. Now, if they enter the correct PIN, access granted. Else, the account is locked due to too many failed attempts. So there's probably a billion different ways to build this logic, but let's run this program and see what happens. Okay, so we see enter PIN. I am going to enter the wrong PIN. Okay, and we can see that we are getting incorrect PIN. Try again. I'm going to do it one more time. Incorrect PIN. Try again. We are inside of the while loop right now. I made too many attempts, so it exited outside of this while loop, and then it went to the next set of code. And so it checked, is the user PIN equal to correct PIN, which it wasn't. And so that's the reason why I got this else statement, account locked due to too many failed attempts. So let's try this example again with the right PIN. So I'm going to run it, and I'm going to hit 1, 2, 3, 4. So after entering this correct PIN, it's going to assign it to user PIN, and then it's going to check this while condition statement. So user PIN, which is going to be the correct PIN, 1, 2, 3, 4, does not equal correct PIN. And so this is going to evaluate to false because it does equal the correct PIN. And then, of course, this and statement, this Boolean operator and, it doesn't really matter right now because both of these expressions need to be true for this and to evaluate to true. So we're not even going to go inside of this loop right now. We're going to automatically jump down to here, and it's going to say user PIN, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, equals correct PIN. And so it will print access granted. So let's go ahead and just run it. And there you see access granted. All right, so let's do another example. We're going to be loading a TikTok feed until videos run out. So a while loop can also be used to keep loading videos in an app until there are no more videos left. So let's check this out. All right, I'm going to add a comment. TikTok video feed. Okay, paste some code in there for you. All right, so this is going to simulate TikTok or Instagram, how it continuously loads videos while there are more available. So the loop is going to keep running while videos left is less than 0. Each time a video is loaded, we're going to decrement. So we saw the plus equal sign before. This is minus equal. So this is the opposite. Instead, it's going to decrement from the value. We're going to decrement and decrease this value videos left by 1. So once videos left reaches 0, the loop stops and the program is going to print no more videos to load. Let me stop this. I'm going to hit stop. It's going to yell. I'm going to delete this, clear all. Let me go ahead and comment out our banking application. All right, so let's run this program. So videos left equals 5, while videos left is greater than 0. Let's see, it's going to print loading next video, 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 and then we're done. No more videos to load. So you can just imagine if you're swiping through, loading next video, loading next video, loading next video, that kind of behavior. All right, guys, so let's wrap this up. Today we covered the syntax of a while loop and how it works, and how forgetting to update the condition can create an infinite loop, and then how while loops are used in real-world applications like the banking apps and the social media feed. Now that you understand while loops, practice is everything. So head to the Course Hub for exercises and extra resources to make sure you fully get it. And if you found this helpful, subscribe, drop a comment, and let me know what clicked for you today. All right, see you in the next one.